Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Wait till y'all get up in here, man. I want to chop it up with y'all about this Crawford and Spence, man. And obviously talk about some heavyweight stuff. I'm kind of upset, man, that this on this Canelo versus Bivol undercard, I was really looking forward to the Philippe Herkovic versus Zhili Zhang IBF title eliminator fight, man. Two big undefeated heavyweights. Zhang is getting up there in age, man. He's about 39 years old. I believe he's a two-time Olympian? Then Herkovic, who's also an Olympian, both medalists too, man. Was really looking forward to that fight. Herkovic had to pull out. Guess he had his father passed away, and I guess just mentally right now he's not ready to fight, man. And I seen some people in because I was looking at the article on Boxing Scene. I seen some fans leaving comments like, "Well, Buster Douglas, when his mom passed away, he used it as motivation." It's like, well, yeah, he did, but you can't, you can't really. What's good, Dago 619? What's up, man? But you can't really, you know, uh, gauge how somebody is going to be feeling after they lose a loved one, man. So, I really don't, if he's not mentally ready to get up in there, then he's not mentally ready to get up in there. But the replacement is Scott Alexander, journeyman type of fighter. I've seen Alexander fight a few times in a few post-fight reaction to his fights, most notably the Travis Kaufman fight where they both went down in the first round. I remember Scott caught Travis with like a little, was it like a little chopping left hook going off the back foot towards the ropes. He fought LaRon Mitchell when LaRon Mitchell was an undefeated heavyweight out the Bay Area. So I'm privy to Scott Alexander, man. Let's see what's up in here. Kind of Local Sports was good, man. So I'm privy to Scott Alexander. I think he'll go in there and he'll be as crafty as he can be in there with a guy like Zhili Zhang. But I expect Zhang to get the W. He won his last fight. Who did he get in there with his last? I forgot what his last fight was, but the fight before that he had the draw with Jerry Forrest. And Forrest is a tough customer. He's had some unlucky decisions his last few fights, Forrest. But I expect Zhang to win this fight, man. But I really want to see him fight Herkovic, though, man. But he's a big left-hander. I think as long as Scott's going to try to walk him into some traps. Now, Alexander, even though he's a journeyman, he does have some, decent boxing skills, making fight off the back foot a little bit. I don't think he wants to stay in there and just stay right in front of Zhang the way he was like a Travis Kaufman, something like that. Because this guy's a much heavier puncher. He has a big left hand. I thought his best knockout performance was the Curtis Harper fight. He's beat guys like Devin Vargas, guys like that. But his left hand is his best weapon. But he's been shown to get frustrated when he's missing. You can turn him and move him, kind of what Forrest was doing. You can make him miss and hit him back, so he is beatable. You know what I'm saying? I thought Forrest probably could have got the nod in that fight as well. So maybe, maybe Alexander can kind of mix in some of what Jerry Forrest was doing by moving and try to pot shot and catch him when he's not looking, and making him fight when he doesn't want to fight. You know what I mean? Because that usually works well for smaller guys when they're fighting the bigger guys. When that bigger guy wants to take a rest, you turn up the volume with the punch output. You know what I mean? And try to find those holes in their defense. But I expect Zhang to win that fight. What's good, James Coleman? All right. Damn, yeah, because the next month was in May, we're going to have another IBF title eliminator at heavyweight, Martin Bakole versus Tony Yoka. And I really want to see the winner out of Zhang and Herkovic take on the winner out of Bakole and Yoka. But it is what it is, man. Now let's get to this Crawford and Spence breakdown. I wanted to kind of converse and go back and forth with people, man. Y'all, so before I even start that, the people that are here, who do y'all favor in that fight? I just want to see what y'all think about the fight, man. James Coleman says and go, but yeah, I know it can go either way, but just right now in your gut, like who are you favoring in that fight? Not, so much who you like the most or, who you're a fan of, just who do you think is the better fighter right now? I know they got to get in the ring and prove it. We know that, right? And that's what we're all clamoring for. And hopefully they get them contracts signed. I've seen little different stuff about them going back and forth on Twitter, and that's cool and that's fine. I like, when they talk shit and go back and forth and have some banter. but also like when them contracts are signed too, man. You know what I mean? So hopefully we get that soon. I don't really see what the holdup would be. I'm not in the behind the scenes. I'm not going to try to act like it. I don't have any sources. I'm not even going to go there with you. I just want to see the fight get signed as far as that's concerned. All right, Volcano says, what's good? He says he got Spence, but he think it's 50-50. Dwayne Moore said he got Crawford. And James Coleman just said, man, I can't call it, bro. He said, I just can't call it. It's too close. Dago 619 says he got the truth, Errol Spence. All right. Now, when I watch these two, Spence puts me, okay. I believe that Terrence Crawford has different ways that he can beat Errol Spence, right? I think he has different ways that he can beat Spence. He can go lefty, go righty. But the thing that I think that's really going to have Spence in trouble is the counterpunching ability by Terrence Crawford. Because Spence, when I watch him, now I'm talking about at an elite level when I'm comparing, all right? When I'm comparing him. So I'm not saying to just some average Joe welterweight, all right? I'm not saying, I'm not comparing him to Larry Lunchmeat. I'm comparing him to the elite of the elite, right? So he fights kind of at one speed. Now, a guy can be one-dimensional. He can be great at that one dimension, right? But he kind of fights at one speed, and I think that is, as far as the elites go, with the Terrence Crawford, that's too predictable. I think it's too predictable when you fight a guy like Crawford, man. And I just see him getting off with counterpunches. And which counterpunches do I see? I see him being in the southpaw stance, and I see Spence. I see Spence when he overreaches with that left hand, when he throws those straight left hands, and he extends and he overreaches and he gets caught and he gets countered. I see that happening. And another punch that Spence likes to throw is that little sweeping left hook to the body. And I see him overreaching and getting countered with that. And people saying his work rate, right? He's just going to walk Terrence Crawford down. He's going to walk. Well, first of all, bro, like, that could happen. He could just walk him down, work the body, just be relentless like he pretty much is in every fight. You know what I mean? But when you're getting turned and getting countered and your footwork is getting jumbled up a little bit, it's hard just to walk somebody down. You got to be able to cut the ring off effectively. And I think he has that ability. But I think what's going to make him kind of hesitant is also the power from Crawford. I see a lot of fans, they think they don't think he has moved up in weight, but he's not as small as you think. And that's what some of the things that people were having. I remember when Pacquiao was coming up through the welters, and people kept, trying to treat him like he's the quote small guy. And it's like, okay, you keep getting in there with him, treating him like he's some small guy, and he putting the 1-2s on you, and that using that fast hand speed, and using those different angles, and you can't. But a guy like Crawford, to me, he's much more defensively sound than a guy like Pacquiao to go along with the power and the counterpunching ability. And I just don't see a guy fighting at one speed beating Crawford. I just don't see it. It's just too easy for him to get his counters off, man. Now, if he gets caught with something, now if he stands there and tries to rumble and let his pride take over and try to go, duke it out toe-to-toe, then I really think you're giving Spence a chance to win. But even with that, he slips and he moves his head well. I think he has better defense. And I know Spence in his fight with Mikey Garcia, people think that that's the fight that he showed his versatility. Well, he did show some versatility, but in that fight, to me, when he was going off the back foot, he was going off the back foot just covering up, knowing that Mikey really can't do nothing from that distance and range because he had the reach advantage, so he was utilizing his jab. And he was able to do that with said fighter. That I don't think that's going to work. Being able to counter somebody works pretty much with everybody because you make them miss, you make them pay, right? But being able to fight off your back foot and use that distance the way Spence was against a guy like Mikey Garcia, not gonna be able to do that. And according to BoxRec, it says Crawford has a reach advantage by an inch or two. Plus, he just fights longer, in my opinion, anyways. Because sometimes with reaches, a guy can just fight longer than the other guy. I remember when I watched Mike Tyson fight. Was it the Tucker fight that he was out jabbing Tucker? Was it the Bone Crushers? Man, it was one of them fights, man, where Mike jab was more effective than I believe it was the Tucker fight. And that's just an example I'm using. But it's about timing with the jab, not just so much the reach. Because then you got guys that do have the reach and don't even use the reach to their advantage, like a guy like Fundora. You know what I mean? But the timing, the footwork, the defense, he's just a special fighter, man. Not to say that Spence isn't special in his own right, but I mean Crawford special with his talent. His talent. And his right hand. He has different ways of setting up the right hand. Now, if it's orthodox, he's going to have it behind him, fighting out that orthodox, the orthodox stance behind the left jab. But then, to me, I think he turns southpaw to lead with the right hand. He has good lead right hooks. And he throws a stiff jab with that right hand as well, Crawford does. Now, the body work. Now, when you go to the body and when you go to the body, you're giving up what? Your head. You're sacrificing your head to go to the body. And again, counter punching, man. And I think he's going to back Spence up. He's going to get his respect. So this whole going to walk him down, and I just don't see that, man. I see him, and what is going to, and people say, well, he hasn't been getting backed up before, Mr. Boxing. The relentless pressure too much for people. Yeah, when you're not getting backed up though, when somebody's not giving you something to when somebody's not putting the offense out there to make your ass back up and second guess a little bit. And I think Crawford can definitely do that. What did you say? Yeah, I'm talking about Spence. Yeah, I think, like my wife was saying, I think Crawford is much more comfortable going backwards. And I was telling him when Spence fought Mikey Garcia, he was going backwards with him because he was just, comfortable in that, fighting that type of style. To me, Spence is his best coming forward. All this trying to go back and look cute. Even if you think that was his second gear or that, he's at his best coming forward, walking you down, putting that high guard up, using that stiff jab, throwing at combinations and being relentless. And I love that fighting style. I love it. But the kryptonite to that is timing, good footwork, and counter punching. And he has a good jab. The dude is just, he has so many different facets of his game that he's good to great at. Right. Backwards. It's my wife said who I think is the more powerful puncher of the two. Now, just brute force, just who can, you put like a little machine in front of us and who can register I think probably Spence has the more just brute force. But I don't think Crawford is that far behind him, and his punch is going to come more with countering to punches you don't see. Whereas Spence he don't care if you see him or not. Take this right, he's not trying to, now, okay, I'm not saying he's some damn caveman where he's like right, left, right. He does try to set it up with subtle things like, okay, I'm gonna jab upstairs and then come downstairs with hard body shots. So he does set it up, but for the most part, he really don't see if you see him coming. Whereas Crawford has that ability to where he can do that, and he does a great job of with that when he's in southpaw. And Roy Jones was really good at this too, where he would be able to use his jab hand to parry and stymie your jab. Like he'll parry with his glove and then come over the top with a hard right jab after parrying your lead hand, whether it's the right or the left hand. He's great at that, kind of leaving you at a stalemate to where you're not really sure to go because you got to respect his power as well. He's great at that. Let me see what y'all talking about now. Now let's converse about it. Because it's not an echo chamber, and I want to hear what y'all got to say as well, man. Let me see. But Spence is a dog. Yeah, he definitely is a dog. He definitely is a dog, James Coleman. I love that about him. He has, he don't. I love his fighting style, man. I love his fighting style. You guys remember? But I just think Crawford's just special, man. I just really do. Now when this fight gets signed, this would be him going for 2 undisputeds. And that's rare. That's rare. Shit, the last person to do that was Evander Holyfield, if I believe, when Evander cleaned up at cruiser, and then he went up and he, got the undisputed fight with Buster Douglas. He beat De Leon and all them cats at cruiser, huh?
Who do you think has fought the better?
I think it's about even. I know Crawford has been in more title fights. He's moved up to welterweight and carried his power. If you want to say, oh, we wasn't knocking guys out cold, okay, but you're look, man, both these guys got some good pop. Because Errol Spence is taking people eyeballs. He's like Errol Spence is cracking people eye sockets, man. You know what I'm saying? So that dude definitely got some power, and he punishes your body. And Terrence Crawford just beats the fight out of people. He make your corner want to stop it. He make you want to take a knee and think about it. Like, these motherfuckers hand out some punishment. Just knocking people out cold. I mean, now obviously that's the highlight reel stuff, right? But beating, like punishing people, that's just as bad too. When you don't want to fight no more, when you looking at the corner like, look, man, I don't want to, quit. Say I quit. Hey, corner, please, y'all, stop this fight, man. You know what I mean? All right, let me see what y'all talking about. BFTB, what's good, bro? Neutral. Yes, because of the hand speed and counter punching.
Do you think then the fact that he's had reconstructive surgery on his face that'll come into play?
I thought about the surgery, but how long we gonna keep talking about that? Because he's had another fight, then another fight, then another fight. Look, I was like that after the first comeback. Was it the Garcia scrap, I think? Now, again, if you get thrown out of a goddamn car, man, something is happened. But whatever did happen, he's obviously recovered from it, at least from what I see. So if he gets beat by Crawford, it's gonna be because Crawford was the better fighter. I mean, by this time, whatever I thought that was wrong with him, he's doing a great job of masking it. Or unless he ain't been in there, I don't know. But I'm not, it's like shit. A couple fights done passed now, so. But I do think, though, something does happen to you when you get thrown out of a goddamn car. But again, maybe he's recovered from it. You know what I'm saying? So, let me see. All right, let me get to these comments. Neutral Natural says, I don't see Spence winning because will he have a plan B if plan A don't work? Spence not the type of fighter to adjust during fights. I assume you meant to say during fights. His biggest strength of following the corner may be a weakness. And that's what I mean by just the one gear thing. And I know, some people may argue, but in the Mike Garcia fight, yeah, but that's a different opponent, different styles, and he was allowed and able to do that with a smaller guy that he knew had no chance of beating him when he just utilizes his jab and keep Garcia honest with his power punching. He could pretty much do whatever he wanted in that fight, but he wasn't able to knock him out. And I think he didn't want to give Mikey a chance of landing anything, quote, lucky by being close. You know what I'm saying? Even though that is Spence's wheelhouse, putting you in a grinder, but I just think he just wanted to take any chance that Mikey had away from him, if that meant fighting off his, using his range that fight. I ain't gonna say his back foot, but his range.
And do you think that Spence was just more careful in that fight, being that it was his first fight back?
No, I think that was the Danny Garcia joint. Yeah. Leo Williams says, who wins between Ruiz and Ortiz? Ooh, that's a good one, man. I'm about to come back to that one. That's a good one. But both guys look hella vulnerable in their last fights, though, right? Ruiz hit the canvas fight in Areola, and Martin was landing the flu flops on Luis Ortiz before Ortiz got to him and got him up out of there in the highlight reel knockout.
He seems to be more chinny now.
Ortiz, yeah. It's that age, too. Them legs start going. Them legs start, doing a little, start buckling, and you get older, man, them legs start to go a little bit. And I seen it with Ariel. I seen it with Larry Holmes, you know what I'm saying, when he was getting older, even though he had good hand speed and a good chin and just good guile and savvy, but them legs start to, y'all know what old man legs look like. Y'all didn't watch boxing long enough. Y'all know what them old man legs look like. All stiff, now jabs are stiffening up the legs and all that, so.
How Katie Taylor looked.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tax says, Bud jab is heavy with his right hand at southpaw. Spence going to walk into mean hooks and body shots. I definitely think he's going to walk on the punches because he likes to come forward. He has a no-nonsense type of attitude. He's going to have it with Crawford. And I just think the counter-punching ability is going to just, bro, I know people saying 50-50, and I know some people probably basing it off of they're both undefeated champions. But, bro, sometimes high-profile fights can just be ass-whoopings. And I see after about round 3, I think this just being like Crawford coasting, man, and probably stopping Spence.
You think so?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Because, you know, sometimes as fans, we think, oh, he's undefeated. He got a large fan base. That don't be meaning shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes those type of fights go in there and they just be one-sided as hell.
You know how you always say it's just sometimes there's just one guy that just has your number.
Yeah, yep. And I think this probably could be the case for this fight, just based on their styles and the counter punching, y'all. And he's a hard counter puncher. He's not one of these feather fisted guys that, you know, he counters you, but there's no power behind it. It's just to score points. Nah, he's trying to, it's power. And you just getting countered with shots you don't see. I just think that Terrence Crawford's going to be more effective, especially with those check right hooks. To me, he's trying to find a way to throw the right hand. When he goes lefty to righty, it's just he's trying to find a way to get the right hand in there. But he's good with his left hand. That's what I'm saying, he's special because he's good with his left hand. I've seen him hurt and drop people with his left hand as well.
And those body shots.
And that roughing him up shit. If Horn couldn't just rough, and I'm not saying that Horn is a good fighter as Spence, but I'm just saying as far as rough house tactics, trying to be rough, Horn likes to be rough, but he couldn't be rough because he couldn't get Crawford where he wanted him because he's too slippery.
Right. And like,
you know what I mean?
Because ain't that how Thurman fights too? Like,
well, Porter likes to rough you up and get up in there and use his head and his shoulders and make it uncomfortable and make you complain to the ref and then punch you in the mouth while you complain. And he likes to fight like that. And Crawford wasn't having none of that shit. Just a good old tie up. And that's another thing. Crawford was a wrestler coming up, so he knows how to tie up and grapple. He's not about to just let this man just come in there and just run him over, man. I just don't see that. That's I think fans underestimating him and think he's gonna, you know, treating him like the quote little guy. Let me see. Dago 619 says Bud is a better finisher. Teddy B Midwest Sports Talk was good, bro. He says Blood has more pop and Spence has more thud. Think Triple G versus Canelo. It's a good observation. Andrew S says also I got Spence over TC. Arrow is a tough dude. He proves he's the man of the division. Text says Bud would have stopped Spence if he had Spence slumped like you gets hurt. He definitely, when it came out and just went high guard against you, just kept going to that high guard. Once I see him trying to utilize a high guard and just say, I'm gonna let you get off, and then once you're done getting off, I'm gonna get up. Nah, you can't do that with a guy like Errol Spence, man. He's gonna punch through the guard, around the guard, on the guard. He's gonna bust you up. And if you're not trying to use no lateral and you're just trying to go high guard, and you guys was trying to move a little bit till his body started getting broken down. But still though, the high guard isn't the route to go. And if Terrence Crawford tries high guard, he's going to get broken up too. It's your main source of defense. You got to be like to me, for that to work against a guy like Spence, that got to be like Spence moving up to like 168 or some shit, fighting some guy that's way bigger than him where they can just absorb those shots and come forward. But I don't think there's a guy at welterweight that can go, they can say, you know what, I'm going high guard against you and I'm gonna just do this whole you get off, I get off, you get off. I just don't think that'll work. Neutral Natural says 9th round TKO by Crawford once he gets Spence to respect his power and push him back. That's kind of how I think. I think it's gonna be one-sided after a while. I know people probably like, man, Mr. Boxing's tripping, but I've seen high-profile fights become whitewashes, man.
Like Fury and Wilder.
You know what I'm saying? So, but this is why we got to see it in the ring. God of War says, good to have you back. I appreciate that, bruh. Mac J88 says, salute fam, was good, bro. Bruce Gast, OG up in here, man. He says, salute me today. Listening to you while driving, sir. Okay. Have safe travels, man, to wherever you're headed. Renique 313 was good, bro. What did I say? What up, though? 313, yep. Let me see here. Who else up in here? Lance Meyer. What's good, man? Believe you in the Twin Cities as well. What's good, man? It's a nice day out here. The J Rules Theory. What's good, bro? I love listening to that video you had with WTM. You see me in the chat when y'all was going live, man. It was good to listen to your story, man, and just listen to y'all chop it up about boxing. Two of my favorite channels. God of War says Martin and Ortiz both went down by jabs. Yep, a good thud jab to do that to you, man. Especially when you don't see it coming. Neutral Natural says, like people thought Valdez was going to KO Stevenson. Ooh, he got took to school, man. He took that boy to school. He took that boy. And look, bro, there's nothing, there's nothing funnier, at least from, you know, I'll say that loosely, right? Because I'm a fan. But there's nothing funnier than witnessing somebody you perceive as having feather fist, or somebody that doesn't punch hard, or their record indicates that they don't punch hard. Once they see that they're hurting you, now I wish Shakur would have went for it a little bit more at the end, but once you see that guy start breaking down the other guy, and then the look on the other guy's face, like, holy shit, how did this motherfucker punch that hard? Or where did this power come from? But that dude's a problem, man. That dude's a problem. He's another one that has that special type of talent, skill set. As long as the work ethic and the focus stays there, he could, possibly write the history books, man. That's the type of talent. Yep, that's the young cat from the other night. That's the type of talent that I see. Tax says Bud go outclass Spence and continue to embarrass Spence just like he did Felix Diaz. That rushing in with a bunch of punches shit don't work on a fighter like Bud. Yes, it's just too predictable, man. I'm just going based off styles, y'all. It's just that style just seems too predictable for a guy like Bud Crawford. Because I don't think he can bully him.
Crawford's not just going to stand there and let you win.
Yeah, and that comes with the footwork. I think the footwork's impeccable. And the counter punching, he's a hard counter puncher. Yeah. That hurts you, that knocks you out, that beats will out of you.
And he loves to go to the body.
Stay Ready TV, what's good, bro? Neutral Natural says Spence was lucky Porter wasn't no puncher. That was a good rough fight. That right there was a really good action-packed fight. And Spence the type of dude, as they say, what they used to say back in the day, take ass to get ass, meaning if you want to knock somebody out, you're gonna have to put your chin in the wrist to possibly being knocked out. If you want to throw them type of punches and that type of volume, you dig what I'm saying? So, and what throws off volume, getting somebody's respect, that throws off volume, and footwork throws off volume once they're trying to release that volume and they can't hit nothing, or they're not landing as often as they're used to landing. So now let's talk about things I think Spence could do to win. All right, now you throw a punch, anything can happen in boxing. All right, so let's get that straight. All right, and no, that's the neighbors. About to say, what the hell they delivering? We ain't ordering no damn, was that a deep freezer or something? I said, we got a deep freezer. All right, oh, they getting a new washer. That's a nice ass washer. It's a very nice washer. Don't you get no ideas, nigga. We need a damn new washer.
I was just gonna say that.
You know how the neighbors get some new shit, then the wife start thinking, oh, we need one. That was a nice ass washer though. But I'm gonna sit and cook for a minute. I forgot where I was at looking at them damn neighbors washer.
You was talking about what Spence can do to win.
Oh. Utilize the jab, be patient and pick his spots, and try not to fall into traps, and don't overreach with his left hands, because he has a tendency to overreach with his left hands at times. Again, when he throws that straight left hand upstairs, and when he throws that little sweeping hook with the left hand. You know what I mean? To me is try to bully Spence, but work his way in with a nice jab, and work that jab upstairs and downstairs to the head and to the body, but not so much focus on the head when he throws the jab, because that's gonna have him missing. I think I say probably aim for that throat area and aim for that chest, and try to just beat his body and try to beat Crawford's body as much as he can with combinations, man. Not just one at a time. You're gonna have to let his combinations lead him, and try to break down Crawford's body to stop those legs from being so mobile. You know what I mean? And try to hit any and everything, whether it's the shoulder, all that shit. Just beat his body down, and that's what Spence does. So I think him trying to just do that and just prove a guy like me wrong. But I don't think no back foot shit's gonna work. If he tries to do that, I'm gonna show you that I can outbox you. He's really gonna get schooled. But I think the way Spence can win is what he's always been doing. I just don't think Crawford's going to allow it to happen. But his keys to victory is shit what he normally does. Go in there and try to take an eye socket, putting pressure on you, working that body, dictating the pace with his rhythm. Let me see here. Let me get back to y'all now because I want to go back and forth. Let me see. Neutral Natural says, who wins, Boots or Spence? And Boots is a guy that got some. I just want to see Boots prove himself a little bit more. Right now, I would pick Spence. And I know Boots has some of the same attributes, with the move and the combination, but I think I need to see Boots prove himself a little bit more. Maybe I haven't seen enough. I could be wrong though, but I just haven't seen enough. But I definitely like him, and I like the Ortiz kid. You know what I mean? It's good up and comers. I want to see Thurman test his shit against them. I see he talking about that this should be him in this fight, or that should have been him in the Yuga. Look, bro, you retired, you had injuries. Come on, bro. Don't start that, man. Because when you had all the belts, people had you was talking that Floyd, you was talking like you was Money May. It's funny when these dudes be in control, they talk like they Money May. Like really think they Money May. Like really. They start, oh, who has he? I go get a strap first and all this shit, and then now you ain't got one and you on the outside looking in. Nah, bro, you got to work your way back up. And I like Keith Thurman, man. That boy bring action. He got heavy hands, good footwork. Like I like Keith. You know what I mean? But what's ready TV says, what's good, Brody? Stay ready up in here. Let me see. Tax says, but okay, I read that one. Tax says that rough, aggressive, high volume stuff don't work on slick fighters with power, but he says Bud high shelf liquor, Spence that bottom shelf E&J brandy. He's solid though, man. Spence is a solid dude. I can't even front, man. And I know you didn't say that he wasn't, but Spence, I just think Crawford's special, man. I just really do. And I've been thinking this for a while. Hey, man, to be honest with y'all, I think I had one of the first viral videos as far as content creators, like the way that I create content. Guys come here and just talk boxing, not like some network or fancy film. Just, I did a post-fight to Bud versus, what was that cat he fought on HBO? Late replacement. Breeders Prescott. And that video, I think I have it on private now, but it's on my first channel, my Mr. Boxing Today channel, without the two. Just that channel. And the title was Wow. What was it? Wow. Terrence Crawford or something or the other. I forgot the name of the title. But it had like 60,000 views, and that was shared to his Facebook or something back then. Like I never reached out, never wanted to interview. It was none of that shit. And I actually put the video on private because I put that whole page on private when I started this channel in 2015. But yeah, I think I had one of the first little viral videos of him though, man. And when I saw it then, and I'm saying that to say this, when I saw it then, I thought that the dude was going to, I said one day is going to be a welterweight dominating. And lo and behold, here we are. You know what I mean? So I saw it then, and I had an eye on him when he had the little, TC used to have a little, y'all remember crisscross jump back in the day? Them little braids. He had the little crisscross braids early in his top ranked days. I remember him on the undercards. You know what I mean? So just one of them special fighters, man. Crazy D3 says Buzz clinch game is overlooked. Yeah, wrestling background, and both of these guys, right? They spar super middleweights and light heavyweights and cruiserweights and heavyweights, and so. But Crawford, to me, that's what I'm saying, bro. He is like good to great at damn near everything. From what I've seen, he's just damn near good to great at everything. He can clinch on the inside. He can bang with you on the inside. He can counter punch. He can fight off the back foot. He can bang with you if you want to bang. He can outbox you from lefty or righty. I mean, like, what is it that he can't do? And I just don't see a predicament that Spence can put him in to where he's going to get overwhelmed. Unless he just catch him with something, and when he catches him, he stops him or something like that. But rather than that, bro, this this is more the more I think about it, man, it seems more one-sided to me. Based on what they do in the ring. I'm not talking about no out of the ring stuff, just based on what they do in the ring, it seems more one-sided. Wouldn't Bud, he says, wouldn't Bud adapt to Spence? Hold on, Tax says, would Bud adapt to Spence body work by countering? Yeah, everything he's doing is gonna be based off countering. Cause I don't think cause if Spence allows him to just walk him down, then he's gonna get touched. Cause I don't think Spence is all that great at, again, against Garcia, it looked good, but the whole like back foot, I'm gonna put the high guard up, duck, dodge, weave. That's, to me, that's not him. Now, could he do that in little different spurts of the fight, for a 7-second spurt here and an 8-second spurt there? Yeah, but does he rely on that throughout a fight? No. And I think he'll get touched way more than Crawford. He has one way to win. And if that plan A don't work, I don't see a plan B. If him cutting the ring off, throwing left and right hooks to the body, trying to even set it up and not be predictable, to me, that's kind of like his plan, but that's still kind of all in the same plan, setting up the offensive aggressive attack. Like, it's all just the same thing. So maybe he can try to use some angle step to the, step off to the side, or probably put, try to take his lead jab hand and kind of play that, lead hand game with Crawford to make Crawford think a little bit, to make Crawford say, well, shit, this ain't what Spence usually does. Maybe using a little bit more patience, maybe try to walk Crawford onto something by Crawford being too impatient that Spence isn't engaging as quick as he want him to. I don't know. Maybe he could play a mind game. But to me, once that game starts, that thinking game, I think Crawford's going to win that. Why? Because he has different things he can go to that he's good to great at. Neutral Natural says Spence throws to land. He says Spence throws to land, not throw to punch anywhere on the body. See if there's anything I missed. I'm not going to talk y'all ear off, man. I just want to throw this out there. Derek Winston, what's good, man? All right, that's it, y'all. We ain't going to, make this too long, man. Just want to put that out there. Y'all be good. I'm still kind of pissed off that heavyweight fight's not happening this weekend, though, man. I really wanted to see Herkovic fight Zhilei Zhang, man. But for that IBF title eliminator fight, because I want to see the winner fight Yoko versus Bakole, but it is what it is. Y'all enjoy the fights this weekend. I may do a post-fight. I may not. If Zhilei Zhang gets upset by Scott Alexander, I'm definitely going to do a post-fight on that one. But y'all enjoy the fights this weekend, man. I'm gone.